perfect binding. There are lots of bindings, or there are various types of binding. We have the saddle stitch, binding and stitching. Saddle stitch is the normal. Do I have a saddle stitch here? Pull pins stitched inward. It's called a saddle stitch. This is a perfect bind. Perfect bind. Perfect. You see, it has a spine. The spine is thicker than this one. This one, the spine is sharp. This one, the spine is square. So it's called a perfect bind. And you need to have a certain minimum number of pages before you can do perfect bind. Normally, you need to have from 90 pages of an 80 gram. The papers are in grammages. This is 80 gram. There's also 70, there's 90, and there's 100. Thank you. So we also have wire bind. The calendars normally would do wire or spiral bind. Sometimes you also have comb bind. So there are various types of binding. Right. So that's the stitching machine over there. The perfect binding machine over there. The folding machine over there. And this table is for collating and parceling on the job. So this is ready to go. It's a complete calendar. This is example of this is downward 2008 calendar. You have seen it before the client saw it, so you are privileged. So these are the various pages bound. So if you see a print product or a book on the market, you should understand that a lot of processes, a lot of checking, quality control, checking for accuracy has gone in there to get the product on the market. So don't take any product like that's what happens in life. In life, people see the product and they like it, but they don't understand that it went through a process. It's a story of life. Each and every one of us will go through a process. When I started, I did banking and I joined a printing firm, and I was walking on the street with somebody who had not gone to university before. He was just an SS graduate, a dropout, so to speak. But the guy was achieving a lot on the field that I was. I and him, we both had targets, and he was achieving his target. And with all my university degree, I was not achieving my targets. So I learned from him because he knew the practice on the market. So he would teach me, do this, say this to the client, and the client will understand you better. So I learned from him. When I started printing, the printers, they don't have time for you. So it's the apprentices. I'll ask the apprentice questions. So what is this? Then the apprentice will tell me, this one is so that we can do this. And I learned. And before long, I became the operations manager because I had understood what the printing process is about. And I learned from apprentices, not even the printers, but the apprentices, those who are understudying the printers. So that's how come I got printing, my knowledge in printing. So don't take anything that you do lightly. It may be the process that will lead you to a magnificent product. Anything that you do is what? A process that will lead you to a magnificent product. But at the process level, it's all mania. Nobody gets to see. It's not really nice. You are mixing yourself with ink and color and putting things together. But when you come out with a product, then everybody likes it. And then they want the product, but they forget that it's gone through a process. See? So don't always focus on the product. Focus also on the process. Thank you.
How do I call it? Do you give, after printing one, do you give a sample to the person to view whether he likes it before you print the other one? So you just print everything and send it to him?
Okay, the sample copy, because it's a high volume technology. So if you want to show the client a sample, and we have to show the client a sample, so we do that at the design stage, and that one is done from the color printer or the laser printer. So the sample, the client gets to see a sample, but it's not after it has gone through the offset printing, after it has gone through the desktop printing. That's at the design level. Yeah.
Do you do more than 1,000 copies so that you keep the rest as souvenirs?
Okay, thank you very much for your pieces of job. We will print, let's say, 10% more, so 1,100. So, and the object of printing 1,100 is not so we'll keep them as souvenirs, but we sought to give the client the very best. The system is, even though we check at every stage of the process, it's still, you